petrolheads, sim racers, most importantly, the TeamThiim family. Welcome back in Mom's basement. Here we are in the studio, TeamThiim headquarters. Where have you been? God damn it, I've been backstage, I've been traveling around the world. But here we are, guys, back on track, back in business. Today, I'm gonna provide you, we got a special guest here. Yooo TeamThiim, my father, is in the house. He's in the studio. He's gonna share his history with you. And I say you just sit down, put your legs up, and enjoy the tour through the time machine. Anyway, folks, first of all, I wanna say sorry about the video quality, the sound quality. We're gonna improve on that backstage in the future. But folks, enough talking. Let's get the grand old man in here, into the studio, and hear his history. And guys, remember to subscribe to the channel. God damn it, enjoy the show. Yo guys! Bam! Welcome, mic check. Mic check, Kurt, hello? So fellas, this is, I've been looking forward to this for a long time. Not only to have my dad here in Austria, Salzburg, but also to have him here in Mom's basement, in the main headquarters, as we call it. And what do you do with this beautiful son you are, sweet son you are? You bring him some Austrian beer. So, oh, I don't know where there was Austrian beer. Welcome, Kurt. Cheers.
Cheers. Skål.
Cheers, folks.
Yeah.
Thank you for tuning in. This is gonna be something special. Today we're gonna start what we're planning in the future, Andre and me. We're gonna do a podcast, a talk show where we're gonna invite a lot of drivers. And if you don't know this gentleman, this is my dad. I know, sorry about the bad quality of the camera. We're gonna improve on that at some point. But yeah, we're sitting over here in front of the studio. This awesome studio. The team has been working hard backstage to make it ready with the lighting and everything. But yeah, folks, the plan for this is we're gonna go through the whole storyline. My dear father is gonna talk a little bit through his career, completely different generation than me, growing up in Mom's basement, you know, playing all the on the toys we have nowadays, the easy paddle shift, all the not all the boys are playing nowadays. It's not real men anymore. As I say, racing is terrible nowadays. I'm sorry to say, but it is like that. So I'm glad to have a real racing driver in the house. So folks, let's just go straight into it. Here we go. Kurt, welcome.
Thank you.
Glad to have you here. We just, we're gonna go through the years, probably more talk about the highlights of your career, the Mercedes years. I hope you agree on that.
Yes.
And you can share your feelings, your impressions. We have some pictures here from the good old 90s.
Yeah.
And I would say we just go straight to the next scene, so we can start off. So, Kurt, what do we see here?
Yeah, we see here, this is the car with the Rover, which I won the DTM many years back, 86. The story before was I was a German Formula 3 champion in 84 and I didn't do any racing in 85. I still don't believe it, but it's for the way it is racing, yeah. And I get the chance to run this Rover in 86 and I said, yes, okay, this is my last chance because I stopped racing then, because I find it's not normal that you win and you get not the honor to get further in your career, yeah. So, that was my chance and I get it over, I get it changed, I get it in the championship. The first year I ran in touring cars, so of course I was very happy and that was the start of my touring cars career.
So guys, to give you the right, what he's basically saying is, I also had one of those years. He won the German Formula 3 championship, which one of the biggest Formula classes back then.
Yeah.
And then the year after he had no money,
no race,
no money, no fun. So he had to set 1 year off, even though he won one of the biggest championships. And then, you got the chance to drive the Rover.
Yeah.
And
my teammate, my Lebunkers was my team, Steve Damalt in the Formula 3 team, and he invited me to Essen Motor Show. It's a place where all the racing stories and drivers and contacts are coming together at the end of 85. And then Austin Rover Germany at that time asked me if I maybe would like to run on one of the cars they have run 2 years before with a 2-car team. And I said it will be the last year we will run, but we just only 1 car, and I got the possibility, and I said, okay, I have nothing to lose, I take the chance. And at the end of the year, end of 86, sorry, we won the championship, so that was really fantastic.
Yeah, great to know. Yeah. Guys, what you see right here on top of me, it is the Grand Old Man, but the car, I know you cannot see the car, but it's basically the BMW. Yeah. You and I should think now it's
E36.
The MK Motorsport, which year was that?
Yeah, it was MK. It was also a funny story again that I have not any racing, and the weekend before they run the first race with this car on Hockenheim. At that time it was 36 cars, 40 cars at the grid. And the guy, a Belgian guy who ran the car, he didn't even qualify. And then MK Motorsport asked me, Kurt, would you like to run the car the next week? We are running on Nürburgring. And I said, why? Again, I have nothing to lose. And Friday, I said the first time I was sitting in the car, and you have 8 or 10 works drivers at BMW at that time. Don't forget it.
Yeah, yeah.
And it was the Friday was my first time, and Saturday I was on pole with the car, and Sunday I won my race, and the third place in the second race, and totally race winner. And it was also a bit story behind it, because it's the last time a private team in the DTM won a DTM race. After that, it was only the works team, as usual, who take the podiums on the
That's
side.
great.
Yeah.
Great history.
Yeah, it's really.
But yeah, what people always talk about is with this car is, people always say that was basically your ticket to as a factory driver. So the cars you see now, that's basically what I grew up thinking, is that the BMW gave you the ticket to drive this Koenigs Pilsner cars right here.
Yeah, it
so
was.
You got the call.
Yeah, as you know, Nicki, motorsport is always a fight. Also, even if you're on the top, you have to fight for it. You never get something. You have really to fight for it. Everybody think, oh, this is a nice race car. Oh, a nice shoot. Oh, he's looking good, and everything is just top. But behind, it's always a fight. It's every sport. It's always a fight, because you want to stay on the top. And it was the same here. I was running the PM, I won, and then the team MK Motorsport was running out of money. And I was, we were working together as good as was possible, and we decided to say, okay, I said, if we have not some money and we want to do one race, then Nordschleife, because Nordschleife, you need big balls, as you said today. You really have to push, and you have to make big chances at that time. Huh? And I was coming down there, and nobody was coming. And I called after some 1-2 hours, because everybody was testing, and Mr. Thiim was going around in the box and was looking for his car. And he said, no, sorry, we have no money, and we have no money to make the engine ready. And then I said, fuck. Okay, I take then a trip, I speak with Ford, I speak with BMW, and I speak with Mr. Alfred from AMG. And they then know, okay, Mr. Thiim is running around, he won the race before, and now he suddenly have no work, he have no car. And then my story, my luck in my life at that time was that they have some problem, some issue with one driver from AMG, with a colleague from Nicki at that time. And suddenly I have Mr. Alfred, the boss from AMG, in the telephone. And the start, I thought it was a joke. I said, yeah, yes, Alfred, yeah, it's good. Ciao, man, have a good time. But it was real Mr. Alfred himself, you know.
Yeah.
And he said, Kurt, please come to Nürburgring. We want you to drive the rest of the season for us. And then for me, you know, at that time, for the first I said to me, when I was coming in the team, I said to myself, it's very important, you know it. I said, everything can happen, but I will give 110% to stay at Mercedes, because you get this chance always once in your life, not twice, once. And if you don't do it right and the right way and show that you want to win, then you're out, and you're out forever. So I go with this, and it was my first race at Nürburgring in Mercedes, and In the grid, there was 2 rows in front of the Cotto, and everybody was happy. And in the race, he was quicker. Some issue with the tire. It's another story.
Yeah.
And I let him pass, as a good teammate, because my job was to help Nicki Cotto for the championship. Huh?
Yeah.
And at that time, 88, middle of 88 at Nürburgring, it was the first time I was in contact with Mercedes, and that was the first time that in my life, day and night swap.
Yeah.
Because until then you were sleeping in the truck, in the caravan, you have no money, you just want to race, and suddenly we have booked a room for you in a hotel, you get a car from the company,
Yeah.
and it was for me, a complete new world.
Yeah.
It was fantastic feeling.
Yeah, no, the feeling I had the same. You come from having nothing, sleeping in an old T2, in the back, running to all the tracks, and suddenly you get a contract, and then suddenly you see money on your account coming for driving a race car, which is unbelievable. And I can imagine back then it was, I know my mother and your status back then was absolutely nothing. But yeah, Kurt, the König Pilsner is basically the car you see now, guys. Great time. See the left picture. Driving on airfield, which will never be happening again this time we have now. But you also ran through all the. I know there's a lot of Mercedes Evo fans out there.
Yes.
You ran through basically from. What was it? Evo 1 until Evo 2
We started with a normal 100.
No downforce, great stuff.
Nothing, and then we started Evo 1, Evo 2, and Class 1, and And at that time, it was not like today, where you were sitting at simulator in the new DTM. As we were really out on the track for days and running and running and running to find some time.
Yeah.
And it was really a tough job. And I
Yes.
find it was good at that time, because that gives you really the input what you need as driver.
Yeah. Okay, guys, I think we just jump on to the next session. Kurt, 89, you got your beautiful son, and 90. Some good years. I think you were still the best positioned Mercedes in the championship.
Yeah.
But what you see now, guys, is the 91.
Yeah.
I think the left one is Nürburgring.
Yes.
I think that's still the record of most starting cars. Gonna be.
Yeah, it was full. At that time, it was normal that 3 or 4 teams had to go home, because the field was full, and it's limit on the track how many cars who can start on the grid, because it's something with rules and laws and so on. And I feel sorry for them, but okay, as works driver, you of course have a big advance to stay in front and to be sure to be inside.
Yeah, I think the other picture you see of yourself there is from Nürburgring. You cannot see it there, guys, but he actually has some oxidant mask and everything there. It's not gonna happen nowadays because it's so easy, but back then it was hard work, manual gearbox, no power steering, nothing. So I reckon, what you had a break between the races, right? Where you had to recharge fast.
Yeah, we have not no power brake as today, and we have no power steering, so it was hard work. And it's not like today you can sit your normal position. We have to put the steering wheel at our body, because you have your effort this way, not this way.
Yeah.
So we were really sitting with the steering wheel like this, and at that time it was really a tough job, I can tell you. Also, but everybody have to go through it, so you could not see, I'm the bad boy. So you really have to bite and say, I want to win, I want to stay in front.
I can inform you, we have an air conditioner in a race car nowadays.
Whoa. I can tell.
Oh, it's hot. Turn on the air. Oh, it's amazing.
I can tell you one time we have some sensor in the cars. I can tell you one time we was on air fill at D-Pulse. The reason why we were running air fill at that time was, at that time we don't only have in Germany, you only have Hockenheim and Nürburgring. You don't have Oil Speedway, you don't have Ossersleben. And at that time they tried to find a solution now. But now, of course, they say, if you want to race, you go to Ossersleben, Oil Speedway, okay, it's closed now. Nürburgring, Hockenheim, as you want, And at one time in D-Pulse it was always so fucking hot. We have 72 degrees in the car, and you have not even started to drive.
72
He was
degrees, guys.
sitting
Can you imagine that?
No.
That's basically going to the sauna.
Yeah.
And then you have to work on top. Like he said before, manual gearbox, no power steering, nothing. So amazing.
Incredible.
Take my hat off for that. That's, but again, as he said, it's hard to say, but it's just normal back then probably. Everyone had to go through it, so you didn't think about it like, okay.
Yeah.
Where nowadays, where as soon as you have more than 2 pedals, it's hard. Anyway, cool. Before we change the scene, I want to talk about this picture fast before I change. Guys, what you see here is a picture from Singing, 91, leading the race. I want to leave it to you now, and please don't hit me while talking about it. I know it's a very emotional thing, but let's hear the story from the insider.
Yeah, also you know as driver, if you are in the front and you are just before the goal, and you normally have won the race because you did the best work, you was the quickest one, and then suddenly from the box somebody's coming out with new tires and only got the job to hit you and to get you off the track, that he colleagues can win. And I was you end at the straight, you see this picture, and I was braking, he was just behind me and I had no chance to put against him, but I didn't think anything wrong because I think, okay, I don't know what's happening in the race. I just suddenly saw him coming out from the box, and 1 or 2 laps after he was just behind me. And then I brake, I get a hit. It's not unusual with this car, we were always touching a little bit. They are built for it. But then suddenly it's just go, go, go. So I will tell it that the guy behind me, he just stay on the throttle, and he simply pushed me away from the track. Yeah, into the barriers from the tires, and his colleague behind me pass, then I can go out.
So I think this was one of the last races of the championship. I know Ludwig was fighting against some of the Bila and Stuck.
Yeah.
So it was
that was not
intense.
very nice. It even come in the court with the DMSB in Germany, also the organization for motorsport in Germany. We were even in the court in Frankfurt, and the joke of it was that they just pay some money and it was closed.
Yeah. Okay.
So it was very unsporty and stuff like that you never forget.
So basically it was for the championship guys, and you know it when you drive out there and you see someone coming on pits, you will never expect him to come and hit you. You don't even can imagine that. So but must be so. Now you're leading the race, and actually you had nothing to do with the championship. You were actually out. You were just racing for your own race, and then somebody just
the other guy
took you out on purpose.
So his colleague just looked that I was going away from the track.
Okay. So as just a small story I want to talk about, and I sometimes I met the guy was Jelinski, or was it?
No,
out. Yeah, I actually met him sometimes, and the only thing I think about every time I see this guy is this, because I've been through all the history of my dad, and every time I see him, I just know the guy. He never reached anything in racing, in my opinion, but just this thing, he was basically a carrier for Stuck and Bila, in my opinion.
Exactly.
But let's keep on with it, guys. Next scene.
Oh,
my favorite.
Yeah, baby.
My favorite. Yes,
Bam.
baby.
Bam.
For me, the most beautiful DTM car livery.
Yes.
So beautiful. It's gold and green, and you have a team change. You're still in Mercedes, but you have a team change.
Yeah, we have the issue behind it. It was that Michelin go into the DTM, and we Swift, as we say, one tight team. AMG was running with Bristol. And we go to Michelin, and then it was a big discussion who will go with Michelin and Blawan and so on and so far. And Diebels was, before they go into Mercedes, that was with a private team in BMW. And then, they said we want to join the DTM, but on one condition, that Mr. Thiim is driving one of the car.
So Diebels actually said they wanted you.
Yeah.
As a
and
big,
then, of course, else they don't want to put money into it, and that was the reason why I then go from AMT to Saxpeed at that time. And some of the people from AMT joined me to Saxpeed and build up the team on the professional way, at the DTM professional way. And this car, it was my best time, I must say. Also, the car, the optic of the car was just fantastic. it also get the first prize. You know, at that time it was normal, the most popular driver, the best team, the nicest car, and this car was winning, I think, 2 years in a row because it's simply so fantastic with this green and golden stuff there. It's really so fantastic.
Yeah, it's again my favorite car.
Yeah.
You see it here again. The picture now come in. That was the '93 with a smaller wing again.
Yeah.
But maybe talk about the engineer. I think people know him. What he's doing now. Maybe you can. Good friend of yours.
Yeah. He was, I think, my best engineer in my life. It was Mr. Moser, Capo.
So guys, that's Ernst Moser, who is basically owner of Phoenix Racing.
Yes.
You know DTM.
Yeah.
That was this guy's engineer in the 90s.
We were living together as father and son. I was often in his place at home, sleeping, and then we go somewhere to testing and so on. And we were always together. I was more together with him as with the family or everybody, you know, because it was absolute my life, and we have a lot of success together. And we really were going through a lot of tough stuff, but we have success, and that's keep you going. You know, I don't have to tell you, if you have success, even if you are really down and you have no power anymore, but if you win, you suddenly get the power again and is ready to go for the next one. And at that time we have 4 fantastic years, 92, 93, and then as we later will see, the Pro Mark car with the yellow C-Class prototype. We was also together, also 4 fantastic years. The best, I must say, my best years in my life.
I know how much it means, like the personal relationships. You don't really have that nowadays, because back then it was just a different time. As you say, you live with your engineer and you live with your team. It's because you're on the road so much as you are. You were there back then, where now it's everything is on a computer. They're sitting in the office on a simulator. They're simulating everything, the strategies, and it's just a different work procedure nowadays, I reckon. But I think '92 was, you were leading a championship almost half the year, and it was probably the closest you got to winning a championship for Mercedes.
Yes, yeah. Also more or less, I was always, from all the drivers, the years I was at Mercedes, in the top 5, top 7, something like that.
Yeah.
And I get the 2nd place in the championship at '92, and I should just tell, I was leading until the middle of the season. Our issue was AMD was doing all the development. They were pushing very hard because Mr. Alfred is a guy who just simply want to win. And he was pushing, and they were always testing. And then at the end, they have more power, they have more knowledge, they have, I think, also more money that they could put into it. And really this slower get closer and closer to us. At Nordschleife, we could feel more. Some races, some places, because of a tire, we was in advance, but also the other opposite. Some places, some races, we was not so good as they were, and at the end, Ludwig won in front of me. So, but it was a tough job, and it was. It's okay a way to lose on, and.
But it must be hard. Like, you're a factory driver, but you actually go to a customer team.
Yeah.
Because as you say, MG was to develop.
Yeah.
So you're still up there, but you know you gotta get the second hand stuff. You're not gonna get the best engine. As you could with AMG probably, and I reckon back then it was also more like probably one a German to win. Ludwig was probably the #1 driver for Mercedes.
Yeah, I think it's normal today. I find it's normal today. If you have a German company, of course, if they are in a top sport, class. Of course, they would like to see one of their own people win, if it's possible, you know. I've said that, but I would say at that time, as I was racing, they were looking a little bit more on the people who was driving, how good they were. Today, what I don't like is that the marketing people who is deciding a lot who is sitting behind the steering wheels in the car. Yeah. And I mean, if the 6 quickest drivers are 6 Germans, 6 from Denmark, Sweden, what do I know? Then it's that the way it is. But it's not the way it's working today. It's really like they want, if they have a series who run in Spain, in England, in France, they also want the marketing people, I understand them, that they have some control fellows for those countries that can sell, you know, in the marketing stuff where they're coming on the different tracks. It's absolute normal procedure today, and you cannot change it. But it's for racing drivers, a sporting point of view, it's not always fair.
Yeah. I think the next picture that's gonna come is the last. There was a picture I wanted to talk about. It's probably gonna come in a second, guys.
Yeah.
It's from the. I think it's probably one of the best racing maneuvers I have seen. It's sorry that it's against you.
Yeah.
But it's the final race,
Yeah.
Hockenheim. Roberto Ravaglia, the Italian, probably one of the best touring car drivers ever.
Yeah.
I would say he won
Full
everything.
respect. Yeah.
For BMW. It's going to come in just a second, guys, over here.
Yeah.
Just want to wait for the picture and then we can talk about it. But again, it was such a great setup. And here we go.
There we go, yeah.
Final lap, Hockenheim, Sachs-Kurve.
Yes.
You thought you had the door shut?
Yeah. I was pretty sure. I have really a drop in the tire at the end. In the start I have a good advance. It was looking good. But the last 2 laps I could really feel the tires was going down. My lap time was dropping. And not that Ravaglia was quicker, but he was stable in his lap time. And then suddenly, poof, he was behind me. And I could see closer, last lap. And you go out and think, come. I come into the Motordrome in Hockenheim. I see a Sachs go in front of me. And I was go over and closing the track more or less. But you know Italian guys, they are the casino attack, you know.
Yeah.
And you can see it on the picture maybe a little bit. He was going with 2 wheels in the grass, 2 on the surface, and I was the breaking point.
Touring car.
Yeah. And when I turn in, I would get a shunt on the side. He was stopped and could take the corner, and Mr. Thiim have a big corner, and he loses.
So you lead the race, the whole race, and then last lap, second last corner, I think.
Yeah.
But guys, from the television, it looked amazing because basically he made the thing outside.
Yeah.
And then he lifted off, and then he sent it to the inside.
Yeah.
And on television, as a viewer, it looks absolutely perfect because he just
you see also he's going in the sand inside, and he's using me as braking because he cannot brake there. What?
That was great. I like it. I'm sorry, Dad, but that was just amazing.
Yeah, it was good stuff for him. Yeah. Not for me, but for him. Yes.
Yeah, you were probably angry.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, next scene, let's keep on going. So, guys, beautiful cars. Change of car.
Oh yeah.
From the Evo to the C-Class.
C-Class, yeah. It was prototype. It was really prototype. Prototype means that everything under the car, under the cover, is just for racing. The engine, the stiffness, everything, suspension, everything. The old class we saw before, it was more or less a sprint car where you have some rules you can change a little bit, but a lot of point you really have to keep, you know, because of the homologation. But this car, they have just put the polo, you can see everything inside is iron, his stiffness, and the engine was a fantastic V6 engine, 2.5 liter, and we was racing with limiter with 12,500. So they were really not like Formula 1, but very close. And they were so fucking quick, and that was the best race car I've run in my life, especially the first one in the season 94.
That's the yellow one you see there, guys, now.
Yeah.
That's the 94.
Fantastic.
The one in the video is 95, but we come to that. The picture I have now, that's the 95. But you say the 94 was actually more enjoyable than the 95?
Yeah, it was for me so more a fighting car, and it was fitting fantastic for the Michelin. I mean, we have at that time 12 races in the year, 12 double races, and in the 12 races I have 6-time pool, you know, and in gym, you know, to have pool is one thing, and I cannot remember a lot of records. It was really a fantastic. It was also fitting for my driving style, so of course you're joining the moment. Yeah. And then it got, of course, everybody going attack, and as is normal in motorsport, 95, but it was then more difficult. We have some races, we have also some wins, 3 or 4 wins in the season, but you can see that for me.
But what I really like this is, you say it's a prototype, but nowadays it's also a prototype, but what I really like is, you don't have all those stupid flaps, or you can still have contact, and you can still keep on going. So even though it was made for racing, it was still touring car style.
Yeah.
You could still.
Yes. Also, I've got the job from this year from Mercedes as Botschafter, as ambassador. So I'm joining some of the DTM races, and I can remember I was in Hockenheim, and we have some interview, and they asked me, and I said, if my opinion is we have to put the DTM 10, 15 years back. And everybody was looking at me and said, he's the man, he's not getting too old, you know.
Yeah.
But it's really, the people want to see this, that you really can go, you can touch, and you can keep your speed. You can do another line because somebody hit you, but you can come back and you can fight back and maybe win your places back and so on. And today it's, I don't know, it's typical as a European. I mean, you see America, they have race classes for 10, 20 years, more or less with the same stuff. The
No
people is
regulation
coming.
change. Same regulation.
Yeah, exactly. And the people is happy and find this good stuff. And in Europe, we have always to make changes, and mostly in the direction where it get more and more expensive. And the people don't see if we're going 1 second quicker or slower, but they see
exactly.
when they see a really good fight, that they remember.
Because what you see here is cars still without not so much downforce, so you still see them working.
Yeah.
The reason why you cut curbs is again because you have no downforce in the corner, so you try and cut as much as you can.
Yeah.
You will never see this nowadays, guys, because you have so much downforce, so you try and avoid this.
Yeah.
Try and keep a high apex speed to have as much downforce as you can get.
Yes.
But back then you still had no real downforce, so you still like just go the straight line as you can, I reckon.
Yeah.
But and now we here. The video we have running is, I think it's from Singen.
Singing, yes.
That was also a great weekend for you, and was a funny story in the second race.
Yeah, it was really a funny story. I won the first race, then we have a break in a half an hour. Then the people can go on the toilet, they can buy ice and cream and so on, and then they can go up on the places again and then enjoy the second race. Yeah. And it was always a heavy attack, as a really sprint car, races where you just go more or less maximum from the start. And I won, as I told you, the first race. The second race I was leading again, and I think 2 laps before something was broken in my car, some technical stuff. End of the straight I was stopping. And at the same lap, 2 car crashes. And then the leader of the race, they said, oh, we think it's oil on track because it's not normal that 2 cars is crashing on the same lap. No, and you must imagine, I was staying outside the track, I was standing and looking with the official and said the car was coming again.
Yelling probably.
Yeah, and then suddenly they say, we stopped the race, oil on the track. No, yeah, okay, oil on the track. But in the racing is the rule that they always take the lap before it's counting.
Okay.
And at the lap before, I was leading with a half car length over the start finish line before my car rolled over. So I was sitting there and speaking with the officer, how are you, and so on, and I said, no. And then, yeah, and Mr. Thiim won second race also, you know, and this was like Christmas. Oh,
that's great.
It was a good time of my life.
Yeah.
I was
the picture you see here, I think that's actually you when you won the race.
Yes.
It must be a great surprise,
but
it
was totally surprised. I was really, you know.
Again, not because it's you, but I have to say this is also one beautiful car, the ProMact. It looks really good on television. I like cars that looks good on television, like our Aston now. Either you hate it or love it, but on television it really stands out, looks great, and that was for me why the Devils was the best. And ProMact 2, you could always see the 2 yellow cars with you and Phenomen.
And the sound.
And of course, the sound of this beautiful V6.
Incredible.
All you guys know it.
Yeah.
The sound of those V6s, the Evos with it's okay. The 4-cylinder, like beautiful, normal aspirated engines, no turbo, no hybrid, electro, just the more revs, the more power. Okay, guys, let's go to the last scene. Yeah, this is where they all started. That is, I think this is us. The picture, let's start with the picture before. That was us at where at least I know I started. A small track in Denmark, like 20 kilometers away from home. Yeah. You pulled me into this. God damn it. This is your fault.
Yes. You don't believe what I'm telling now. I didn't want Nicki to do racing. You don't believe it, but it was the way. I have a lot of friends in Denmark. They were following me, they were joining me to races. But I don't want Nicki to go through it because I have seen so many things, and myself I have tried so many bad things. You know, you really have to suffer for it very much more as you think. And
It's more bad times than good times, let's say that.
yeah, but I know also you were a very good football player. So I told you, please, you can go to Barcelona, Madrid, and pour a lot of money, and you just make a lot of goals and so on. But do not racing, because if you have no money in racing, you cannot do testing, and you cannot do testing. The possibility to win, to be in the front, is not zero but very low. So I was totally against that.
Yeah.
And I was always, as most of my life, living in hotels, on tracks, and what do I know? You know it, he was doing this today. And then my guys, my friends at home, they buy him this card, what we just seeing there on the picture. And you see the little Nicki today, at that time. And I didn't know anything about it. And then once I was going on this track, I was home after some races. And they said, come out, we go out, we drink a coffee, and we look in the karting. I said, oh, good idea, just to see something else, you know. And then I saw this little cart was going around. It was a cart with a helmet on it, because Nicki was so small at the time. So you just saw a little Bambini cart with a helmet on. And then suddenly at 1 hour, I think, you was coming in, and they was just putting gasoline on, you go out, and then 1 hour you come in. And then suddenly I saw when they take the helmet off, it was you. And I said, no, fuck you.
What have you done?
No, don't think, no problem, we do it for you, we let him race, and you don't think about, you do stuff. Yeah, and that's what the way it is. I tried to say, Nicki, stop it, continue with your football. I mean, at that time you were really good at football. No, I want to do racing. And that was it.
It's not easy to tell.
It's like a drug,
especially
you have it, and
as a young boy, you always want to do what your dad is doing. You guys know it, and especially when you that was the only thing I was doing when I was in school. I was playing with those small model cars you have over there. You don't see it, and the only thing I could do was watch those videos. I can tell you guys inside out what the speaker is saying, because I watched it over and over again. I just wanted to do one thing, and again, that's just amazing. Anyway, now we have the picture here. I want to talk about your colleagues through the years.
Mm-hmm.
You've been racing with some big names, legends. Again, for me, racing drivers, I'd say that in big capital letters, racing drivers. Not like you have nowadays, guys. That's not racing drivers anymore. That's just sunny boys and people who want to look good and cool. Back then, for me, racing drivers were characters. And that's what I really liked about it. You had, as you guys say now, Ludwig, Ash, you have a beautiful lady, Laura. Everyone was their own person. They went to the interviews, they said their own thing. Fuck on the marketing, sorry to say like that. They don't get anything in talking in like a computer phenomenon. Everyone had their own thing, but let's talk about who made the biggest impression of you. Who was your best teammate? We can take Nannini now. When the Italians came in, what is the difference from when they came in? How are they? And who do you remember the best? Let's say who's.
It's difficult. I can only speak about my only team colleagues, and then my Mercedes co-driver.
Sure.
Of course, Nannini. So it's a personally guy. He was quick, but he was Italian. I have not really a close contact to him, but he knew where the right foot was, and he was a known guy, and it was good for the sport. And at the same time, he really wanted to win. So. That's what
let's take with who you drove with then over the years. Who was made the biggest impact of you personally and as a driver maybe?
Who did you like? Ludwig is an absolute clever guy. He's a politic guy. He's a lot in front of me. What's that belong? Because when I was coming to Mercedes, for me, when I get the job as a racing driver, is my job to do the best out of it, yeah, to get the best out of it for the company, yeah. And no politic and nothing else. I do what they pay me for, and I will do it so good I can. I will give everything for it. Yeah. Ludwig understand maybe more to speak with the people and find a way to get some advances against us. Roland is personality.
He's a good guy.
Yeah, he's always funny, and he has his language, down from Stuttgart area. So we was laughing every time. Jörg van Ham is really. It's a copy of me, I would say. You can speak with him about everything. He's very open and
down to earth guy. It seems like now.
Yes.
Here I am. And
And Laura, she was at that time a very strong woman. She really fighting for it, and I can just take my head and said, okay. She was fighting in a man, and she even won the race.
Yeah.
And
did you hear, guys? Laura won. Only women to win at DTM.
Yeah.
Back then it was hard, guys. Remember that was really hard machines to drive. So you don't need to make a special Formula 1 class to women so they can win. Sorry to say that, but it's in my opinion how it is. But yeah, okay. Let's just keep on going.
Yeah, okay. I can send. I run with a lot with Jörg van Ham, with Oren Asfers and the Grau. Of course, I know Schneider and Mailänder and everybody have their way to do their work and how to do the job and go their way.
Yeah.
It's like it is in life, and I cannot say that he was a bad guy or a good guy. The closest, of course, I coming to my teammate, and I have nothing really against them also. And I think it's everywhere the same way. It's going that everybody is fighting its own fight.
Yeah.
And try to stick to the rules and do the best for the company where you're running for.
Yeah, as you say, you have only one shot at it, and want to do the best thing. So yeah, guys, let's keep on going. There is it will come in just a second. The Sauber Mercedes, I think it was 91. You tried it in was it Le Mans?
Yeah.
You tell me about some crazy speeds you guys did back then.
Yeah.
But it's one beautiful car. It will come in just a second, guys. But maybe we can start talking about it.
Yeah.
There it is, guys. This is the one.
At that time, I have been running 4 years for Mercedes, and the bosses at that time at Mercedes, he come to me personally and said, Kurt, we are very happy for you, and we want to put one on top. We want to put you in one of the 3 cars from Le Mans. And of course, as racing driver, I said yes.
Yeah.
Of course, it was a dream, because I was going touring on top level, but you still need. It's also important for you, Nicki, that you still have to keep your dreams. You still have to look upwards and find some bigger, some more bigger. That's the way you are pushing your life.
Motivation, yeah.
So I go with this car. We did some tests, and I was in Gerets for the first time. And I saw some, Jean-Louis Chesser, Jochen Maas at that time was driving, and also Michael Schumacher was in one of the cars, Kreuzpoint or Wendlinger. So you really were together with big guys. I was running together with Jonathan Palmer, the English Formula 1 driver, and Stanley Dickens, a Swedish guy, a really good driver. And I saw them under some corners, and this was the first time I was sitting into the car. And of course, the house is going really. And as you see some corners, and you have so much downforce in these cars, with 160, 70k, you can go on the roof.
No.
They have so much downforce that you go with 170, 80k, you can go with your head down, and you just go on the top.
On a tunnel, you could go.
Yeah.
That's crazy,
And
guys.
it was a 5 liter with double turbo. So even before you have start to get some pressure from the turbo, you have 400 PS.
Before the turbo.
Yeah. And then you go in the race, you go with about 800, and you must not forget the car weighed about 800 kilo. And in the time practice, we have 1000 PS.
Yeah.
And I go on. Of course, you have a lot of force in this car. It's like Formula 1 today. And I saw some of the corners. I said, "What? They're going flat," because you have that wheels like this. You have downforce, as I just told you, and you have no weight. So it's possible to go so quick. And when you go and you see the corner in front of you, you think, oh, 130, 140 before. But you know the other one go flat out. So you put the next gear in, and you put flat out, and then you just pray. And you just take the corner, and you're going through, and you as racing driver, you know. You're used to it. And then you get this on top. Then I still need about 1 second to get on the same time as the best one. Then I saw on the end of the straight in years, they are braking even later as I do. Fuck. Oh, I do the same, and at that time I always run with open helmet. Yeah. And
that's it, guys.
Yeah.
So you were driving a car with a lot of downforce.
I show you guys. You don't believe it. You sit this on your head, of course. You put it straight, that is sitting good. And you come down, and in touring cars, you're sitting and moving a little bit of it. You know it when you go motorbike and something else. And when I'm braking for the first time, really late, the helmet did like this on my head. Suddenly everything was black. The helmet was going on my head down in this position. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't fucking believe it. It was incredible power and stuff you have inside. And you are sitting here so tight that you think that the bone was broken, because you really have to feed with the car.
No hand system, nothing.
No.
Used to help.
Incredible. We did then a 24 hours test in a public car, as you also doing with Aston Martin.
It's terrible.
Yeah. And then we come to Le Mans, and you are going at race speed. You are going on the straight 800, between 800, 385, about 390 kA. And in the time practice, you're going over 400 kA. And you are braking with 200 meters before the chicane, with the chicane at that time. You go to the chicane at 200 meters to brake, and you're just
over 400 kilometers per hour.
No, okay, in the race, but you're going to race with 385 more or less.
It's still completely.
Yeah, and you come and you just go, and then you put the brake, full brake. You couldn't get the tires blocking because they were so much down for so much grip, and you just and then bang, and you were sitting here. Your head was feeling like your head was half a meter in front of you. And you're going down in second gear, and you're turning in, and boom, 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 bam, like a rocket.
Yes. It's a beautiful car, guys. You all know
Yeah.
it. It's a iconic car. It's a legend. Silver file, Sauber, Mercedes.
Yeah.
Was back then. Guys, before we put the good old man in the simulator, there's one last thing. You had people always ask me, Nicki, Formula One, was it a dream for you? And I always say no. I always want to be on my head. That's for me, real racing, close contact. But you actually made a Formula One test.
Mm-hmm.
The Formula car you see, guys, coming here. You had a Formula One test.
Brands, it's a Tyrrell. It was a test team for Tyrrell team at that time. Tyrrell is not anymore. I think it was Toolman, and afterwards it was the Benetton team. You know, it was just jumping in different spaces and so on and so forth. And, the idea was that at that time the manager, the guy who tried to help me to get me a career, he said, "Kurt, it's crazy that we are using a lot of time, using a lot of money, if you are not talented to drive a Formula One car," because it was the goal. I mean, I was coming from car, they're coming from Ford, from Formula 3,
So
and the goal was Formula One for sure at that time.
Yeah.
So we go to brands, and I get the test with this just to see where the feeling is so on. But it's like today, the cars are built for it, and I was a half a second away from the lap record at that time, and they want to make a deal with me.
That was good.
But we have no money. And they said,
Crazy,
okay, you pay a third of the normal budget, and we'll take you. And I said, I have no money. And that's over. Story out. But I have tried it.
So guys, I hope you enjoyed it. A little bit storyline. I always find it super interesting because that's basically it's like reading a book. In my opinion, it's you don't believe it before you hear from a man. You've been living in auto camper for many years with no money, nothing. You only had one dream, and that was to be a racing driver, and out of some funny things, being at right time, right place.
Exactly. Yeah.
But you delivered again, delivered, and you delivered at the right time, and then suddenly you got the call, and as he told you, and then he's been for Mercedes 10 years. I reckon that's the best years of your life as a racing driver. You have everything, you get anything. You just enjoy it. It's also where I am right now, but again, you have to keep pushing, even though we're at the top. You have 1,000 people behind you who want to do exactly what you're doing. So, guys, it's not over yet. I'm not gonna step down yet, so you can wait in line. But yeah, guys, enough talking. We just slowly gonna set it up. We're gonna do it really quickly, so to make it easy for him. I think we're just gonna take the GT3 Mercedes because we got the beautiful Diebels livery on it. So you can drive a modern racing car with ABS and everything, and hand shift. But yeah, we just give you a few laps just for the people to watch. Nothing, no pressure, no pressure at all. Just always, again, great to have you here. I know Andrew and me has been talking about it for many days. That been looking forward to this, and it's great to see your generation just step into a simulator, because I know there's a lot of sim guys out there, and we are the young generation, and you never had anything to do with it, which I love.
That's not my life. I am
no, so it's great to have you. Finally have you here. So I'm going to put you in the seat and have some fun. So guys, we're just gonna set it up slowly. Bear over with us. We're just gonna do it nice and slowly, and get him into it. Let's get in here, Cody.
Get in here.
Maybe you need
Get
the helmet.
the fun.
No, just half stand in the seat. It's okay. And I know the pedals are flexing a little bit, but that's just like in the 90s, I guess. You need to move forward.
No, it's okay.
Eller tilbage?
No, det gør okay.
Okay. Du får dem her på. That's the sound.
The chicane on the rear back, is that the quicksand?
You see already now, he's already asking, he's already getting competitive.
It's the short version, Grand Prix short. Also ist es NGK. Also wie schnelle Vidol.
It's the quick one.
Yeah.
It's the fast one, yeah. Fast one.
And here's Swift Salt.
Yeah.
And I just...
Yeah,
You
so
don't
see,
need the clutch really.
you don't need a clutch, no, it's modern racing car. So you just put it, yeah,
Go.
no clutch, just, it's so easy.
It's only bumper on gas.
It's only gas brake, yeah, I know it's only
Gas
two
and brake.
pedals, you're not used to this, I know. Nice. Great, guys.
Whoa. Oh, we go here.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, it's a 25-hour question, sorry. Just give him some laps. It's really hard at the beginning because everything is visual. You don't feel anything you want.
You must think this is the first time ever in a simulator for him, so in an iRacing. It's his first lap ever.
You have to get a feel for the steering and all that stuff.
Whoa. Quick chicane, huh?
Yeah.
No.
No.
Slow.
Oh.
Slow chicane.
Sorry.
Slow chicane.
Sorry.
It was our fault.
Sorry.
He screwed
Ja,
it
ja,
up.
ja,
Nicki
ist gut.
screwed it up.
Can you just break code?
Oh, anders der.
Just break code. Prøv lige at løfte gassen.
Hvad siger du?
Du skal lige løfte gassen. Du skal lige de der tid er væk.
Skal jeg løfte gassen?
Bare bremse lidt, indtil den her tid er væk. Kommer bare lige vent lidt.
Ah, det var...
2 sekunder. Sådan der. Godt. That's the code runner, ja.
Åh, man er...
Men ja,
Mercedes Arena med
he knows his version too. It's so hard to get the feeling for the brake, guys. Next time he's gonna be here, guys, for sure. We're gonna test his skills with the manual gearbox. That was actually what we should have done, to see him heel and toe, and to see him in manual gearbox, because that's where his skills is really coming out, where Andre and me has no chance.
Yeah.
So that's where he is. But what I can guarantee you guys that is you will see every lap he will improve quite a lot, because as a typical racing driver, right now he's observing and he's figuring out the gears, and then he's figuring out how the steering works and brakes, and then he can. We're just gonna give him 5 to 10 laps, and then it's a thank you to Kurt. Fuck, I really see now how much my rig is flexing. Jesus. You do that, guys, yeah. Great, guys.
You see the difference in a real race car driver? He didn't crash at all because he's coming from down low and pushing it a little bit every lap. Not coming from up, crashing and then finding the limit. He's coming from downside to the limit.
He's sorry. He's sorry.
Oh.
He like this, okay. But yeah, guys, you will see him. I'll guarantee you, if he had a feeling, if you go in a go-kart or something where you have a feeling, he will be on pace. Every racing driver normally is like inside 5 to 10 laps, because you, as a racing driver, everything you do is you feel it through your body. And what you do right now is only what you see. You have no. The hard thing about simulators is you have no feeling for the speed. So I couldn't tell you if you're doing 120 or 80, where in real life you feel it right away. And that's the hard thing as a racing driver. And that's what he's struggling with right now. You see it right away. It's the sense of speed. See, now it's already braking 20 meters later. In there. Nice and easy. He's saving the car, guys. He's saving the car. Almost there. Nice comeback there. Counter.
So fun to see a different generation doing this. Back then, they actually went testing, guys, not like stupid crap. He's also not used to this small prototype steering wheel. He's used to a truck wheel, you know, where I really have to grip out it. Having your hands in one position is not his thing. You see, he has to move his hand.
Oh.
Oh, good, great. Great.
Over the curbs.
Oh. The pit limits are always terrible. So guys, let's give him 1 or 2 laps more and then we're gonna leave the old man alone. It was oil.
Cazzo,
Oil
Madonna.
on the track, guys. Oil.
Whoa!
Let's give it 1 more lap, guys, and then I think I'm gonna call it. Oh, the old man, he got enough. He says, simulator is not my thing.
I'm too old.
Too old, yeah.
Yeah.
That's good. You are a true legend, Kurt.
Yeah.
I love you.
Great.
I'm proud. That's okay.
So great.
Yeah.
Perfect. Guys, I hope you enjoyed it. Kurt, thank you for being here. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have a fast question, fellas, leave it now. Now he's in here, you can see it with his good eyes. Gonna put it right ahead of him here. If you have any question, guys, hit us now, and Kurt will happily answer it. It's been a pleasure.
Geil.
So you can see it's favorite
Thank
car
you.
to never have been driven. Kurt,
It's first time, yeah.
favorite car to never have been driven.
Yeah, exactly.
No, what car? My dad. The car. What car would you most appreciate driving? Hvilken bil vil du helst have kørt, som aldrig har kørt i?
Difficult question. There's so many fantastic racing cars. Maybe Aston Martin. Why not?
Yeah, why not?
Why not?
Maybe I have to talk to my boss. That would be one hell of a video.
Oh yeah.
That would be one hell of a video to actually have my dad trying Aston Martin. I actually think that could be organized, to be honest.
Yeah. Fantastic. Many is coming.
Guys, serious questions. It's a different generation. We cannot. Favorite track for New Court?
Favorite track is Mugello in Italy. It's really a good flow in. Really, some corners will really need big balls, but it's making it really fun. Also, I like to go very close to Armco's. Also, we are speaking about city tracks, Nürburgring, Singen at that time, and where you really have to go on the centimeter to get the maximum out of your car. So it really make fun, and this is a big challenge.
Street tracks.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. Have you raced? You got a question? Have you ever raced in Monaco?
Oh yeah, I had Monaco 3 times. Formula 3 at that time. My best race was number 4 in the race, European Formula 3 Championship. And as the 2 first races was big crashes, one of the with the head down, and another one down at the ocean, at the coast, where before it was a quick chicane.
Were you in the water?
Yeah, more or less. We were 4 to 5 cars in one big crash. So,
God.
yeah.
Okay. Someone asking if you still have contact with your DTM colleagues. I know you're working with Mercedes right now, so yes.
Yeah. You see sometime when you go around, or if I follow you, Nicki, sometime you are. It's a small family. It's a small family motorsport, and everybody just find this sport fantastic. It's a big challenge. It's a technical challenge, not just for an engineer, but also for the driver. Really have to go into it and understand it, to understand the car, to understand the new technique. Yeah. It's just not about to put the throttle, because I think a lot of people can do it, but really to put it on the track over the distance and for a quick lap and so on, that's show for me a good driver, and a driver who maybe have a bad season, who fight back a best example for me is, for example, Schumacher. You know, you have a lot of time. We have some really not so nice years, but he just pushing, and 1-2 years later he was again championship. So he won it again. So that's a good example of a driver who really just spied and just won it.
Could I have a question?
Yeah.
What was your scariest moment in a race car?
Oh,
Really
I have
fresh or
I think every driver have a lot of accident, and my heaviest accident was rolling with a mini challenge and Spa. I think 7 or 8 times. The heavy stuff. I think it's Mercedes sometimes where you really just go and you don't know really what's coming out of the end. One I have in the Formula in Zolder, I really have a heavy crash. I can remember where I hit the Amco, but when I was go out of the car, I was complete other places on the track. That's where you really have a blackout. But you live with it. You just cut down and said, okay, it was this. I start again, and you really have to go for it.
Wow.
So.
Guys, I think I'm gonna call it here.
Yeah.
It's late now.
Yeah.
We're gonna go for some dinner.
Yeah.
Enjoy the time. Fellas, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you probably Sunday. Guys, thank you for joining. I hope you enjoyed it. More to come. Guys,
Yeah.
out of here.
Yo.
Bam, bam,
Bye.
bam, 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 bam.